Human trafficking and kidnapping is real, so let's continue to raise awareness. This TikTok compilation video is filled with pertinent information that you can share with your loved ones, and it's a must watch. It's always best to park as close to the entrance as you possibly can and in well-lit areas, but we don't always have the luxury of doing so. Most keys, especially in newer model cars, have a panic button. And it looks like this. It'll always be highlighted in red. Use that button for what it was created for, especially if you had to park far away and especially if you had to park in a parking deck, which can be unsafe even in the daytime. As you are approaching your car and while you're still at a distance, press the panic button and pay attention to the activity surrounding your vehicle. When you press this button, alarms will sound on your car. Don't turn it off and don't be bothered by who hears it either. Let those alarms go off until you literally get inside your car and lock the doors, remembering to not unlock them until you are ready to enter. Pressing this button brings attention to your car and it literally says, "I'm in distress." Anyone with ill intent now has to change their plans because the last thing they want to do is draw attention. So if you're ever in a situation where your car breaks down or you're pretty much stranded, or if your phone battery dies and no one knows where you are in the event that something happens and they need to locate you or contact you, go ahead and change the voicemail on your phone. And in this voicemail, of course, include your name, but include your current location. Give them any information as it pertains to what happened, if your car broke down, if you went somewhere with a friend and you just want people to know where you are. Leave all of that important information in that voicemail so that if those people try to call you and your phone is dead, they know where you are, they know how to get to you. And this is for males and females. Try to avoid customized license tags and tags that go on the front of your car that reveal too much information about you. Let me give you an example. So today while I was dropping my daughter off in the carpool line this morning, I was directly behind someone whose license tag read their name or the name of a loved one. In either case, it's not a good idea, and let me tell you why. Number one, it makes your car memorable. So a customized license plate or tag paired with the color, make, and model just makes you easier to track down. Number two, it automatically tags you for a trafficker or a stalker. What do I mean by that? 9 times out of 10, they're hanging out in public places looking for their next target, their next victim. And they usually look for clues that tell them if this car belongs to a female with children, and then they'll tag the car accordingly. Well, if you have a license plate with your name on it and it's Veronica or Ashley, whatever the case may be, it automatically tags your car for them, making you an easy victim. Another thing to avoid to help from not becoming an easy target for kidnapping and trafficking are these stick figure family car decals. So what it does is put a mark on your car that tells a human trafficker how many females could be found in this car, how many children could be found in this car. Their next step would be to watch you and learn your routine to see when you, the female, are alone with the children. And one thing we ain't gonna do is make it easy for a kidnapper or a human trafficker, okay? I mean, the car decal is cute and trendy or whatever until it's not. Be aware, stay alert, stay prayed up, and protect your family at all costs. If you have a garage, get into your car, lock your car, and then open the garage door. After you're already in the car, crank it and take off. Now, I realize that this may not work for the winter time because you got to let your car warm up, and turning the car on with the garage closed can create carbon monoxide. This is definitely for the warmer months, or if you don't mind sitting outside of the garage to let your car warm up. Of course, with the door already locked. The reason I'm saying this is because it minimizes a window of opportunity for a trafficker or somebody who may have been watching you, they may not, to number one, learn your routine. When your garage is closed, they don't know your routine. They don't know what you're going to do before you get in the car, and you can take as much time as you need to get yourself together while you're in the car. Secondly, it leaves no window of opportunity for them to run up and try to hop in the car with you before you can get the doors locked. If you have a garage, do not open it until you are pulling into your driveway. Don't open it while you're still down the block. I know that's a small window of opportunity, but that's all a kidnapper needs, especially if they've been watching you, because it will give them the opportunity to run quickly into the garage and hide behind a second car if you have a second car parked in your garage. Also, if you have a garage, keep your garage closed when you are inside the house, and keep your doors locked. In the event that you forget to close the garage, the doors are locked and a trafficker can't get in and hide and wait for you to get back in the car, because they study your routines. So if they know, okay, this person's going to leave back out of the house because they got to go to work, they always leave the garage open, so I can slip in, hide in the back seat because the door is unlocked, and wait for them to come out and get in the car. Keep them doors locked and keep that garage closed, period. So this video is for any parents who have students that are athletes, who have to stay after school for any reason, or they carpool. At the end of the school day, avoid being late so that your child is not waiting in the carpool line by themselves, because human trafficking rings within the school system have been exposed in the past. If a teacher wants to tutor your child, teach your child to never be one-on-one and alone with the teacher. Always bring another student with them. Now, that's not me accusing all teachers of being in a human trafficking ring, right? But because some teachers have been exposed, people in administration, and I'm not saying any schools that my child went to, just teach them to do the buddy system. If your child stays after school for sports or whatever reason, using myself as an example, my daughter is a cheerleader. If cheerleading practice is over at 4, I'm going to be at the school at 3:45, just in case they laid out early. I don't want her to be waiting for me. I don't want her to be the last one there. And I don't know all the people that go to the school, so I'm going to set her up to be safe. If for any reason I'm running late picking her up, I always communicate it with her and tell her to ask a friend, can they wait? Can you wait in their car for me? Or can they stay and wait with you? Because 2 is better than 1. And they can definitely look out for each other. If your child is ever waiting on you when you're running late and they happen to be waiting by themselves, don't talk to strangers. I don't care if it's somebody walking up to them talking about they lost or how do you get into the school. Don't talk to strangers, and make a scene if you feel uncomfortable. I mean, get loud, scream, make a scene, because the last thing a trafficker or a kidnapper want is to draw attention to themselves. So if you make a scene, it definitely draws attention, and that's not what they want, and they'll flee. So now they're putting glass bottles or pieces of glass, any type of glass item, behind your tire so that when you pull forward or back up, the glass will puncture your tire. Then they attempt to follow you until you need to pull over and see what's going on as a result of your tire going flat. That's when they will attempt to kidnap you. My advice in this situation: number 1, if you are parked in a well-lit area close to the entrance of the building where there are a lot of people around to witness what is going on, take a quick walk around your car to see if there's anything behind the tires, any zip ties on the car that could be used for tagging. If there is, remove it. Kick the bottle out of the way. Get in your car. As you're walking to the car, look around, pay attention to your surroundings. If you're in the situation where you have to pull over because your tire went flat, try to keep going until you can pull into a well-lit area with lots of people around, and then call for help. If you're in a situation where you have to pull over where you are and you can't make it to a well-lit area, do not get out of your car. Keep the doors locked and call for help. Wait until help gets there before you get out and access the situation. If you find that you were pulled over because your tire went flat and you're sitting in the car waiting for help with the doors locked, and somebody comes up to your window and asks you if you need help, no, you don't. Help is on the way. You've already called. And if it's possible for you to stay on the phone with the person that you called to come help you until they get there, do so, and keep them on speakerphone so that if anybody knocks on your window for help, they can hear that you're on the phone. If you have mace in the car with you or a gun, pull it out and let it be visible, because this makes it known to them that you are alert and you are aware of their tactics and you ain't no fool. Because 9 times out of 10, they want to go unnoticed. They want to kidnap people that aren't expecting it. They want it to be as easy and effortless as possible. So when you make it known that you're aware, 9 times out of 10, it's going to work in your favor. On my way home from picking my daughter up from cheer practice yesterday, we were riding behind a car that had a sticker that read baby on board. So the baby on board sticker is good for letting the people around you know that you're driving cautiously because you have small human life on board with you. It lets them know to show a little grace. However, here's the information that anyone with the intent to kidnap or abduct gains from. It tells them that you're going to be spending extra time loading a baby in and out of the car. Therefore, they have extra time to plot and do what they have to do to abduct. It also lets them know that they have two possible candidates to abduct. It's pretty much you tagging yourself for a human trafficker / kidnapper. If you're going to have a baby on board sticker on your car, be prepared when you're out shopping with your baby. Have a plan, such as parking as close to the entrance as possible in a well-lit area where people can see you, or asking the clerk to walk you to your car and help you load your groceries. Speaking for myself here, I much rather have the people around me deal with the fact that I'm driving slow and cautiously than give any information to anybody with ill intent, whether that's a human trafficker, a kidnapper, whatever the case may be. I don't want to make myself an easy target and tag myself and do the work for them. So this question is in regards to the tactics that human traffickers / kidnappers use by placing items on your car, and the answer depends on the situation. If you find a zip tie attached to your car in any area, cut it off immediately. That is a form of tagging, and it makes other kidnappers aware that it's pretty much the go-ahead. It means that they watched you, and this is confirmation that this person is vulnerable and they're an easy target. Go ahead and do what you got to do. So you want to cut a zip tag off immediately. If you find a piece of tissue, Kleenex, a small piece of fabric tucked in between your door handle, do not touch it. Chances are that it's laced with a drug that would make you black out and make you easier to abduct. If you have tweezers, use tweezers to remove it. Use latex gloves, but don't touch it. If there's something placed on your car like a Holy Bible on the hood or the trunk, I wouldn't even touch that because that's still a decoy. Drive to a safe place and remove it there, because chances are it could have a tracking device in it. It could be laced with something, but you just don't want to touch things because you don't know if they're laced. So whenever you're removing anything, make sure you are in a safe place where there's a lot of lighting, a lot of people around. If not, you wait to remove it when you are. Perhaps consider keeping something disposable in your vehicle that you can use to remove things, so that you don't touch them. Like I said earlier, latex gloves, maybe a box of Kleenex or a roll of paper towels, and use that to actually touch the item to get it off of your car. You just don't want your skin to come into contact with anything in the event that it's laced with drugs. Don't drive home with any item connected to your car because you don't know if somebody is following you, and if your car has been tagged and somebody's watching, well, now you've just led them directly to your home. So drive to a police station, drive to a well-lit parking lot like Walmart in the very front where people are coming in and out. Drive to the home of a big strong man that you know and make sure he comes out so he can be seen to help you remove the thing off the vehicle. Keep a small pair of scissors and some tweezers in your purse in a Ziploc bag so that when you have to use those things to cut anything off or remove anything, you can place it back in the Ziploc bag and then wash it when you get home. Or you can keep some Lysol wipes, sanitized wipes in the car, and after you use the tweezers or scissors, clean them off with that, throw it away immediately, and then place them back in your purse. Still, I would keep them in a Ziploc bag though. They will even use money. They'll roll it up and tuck it within the car door handles. If you see money attached to your car, don't fall for it. Remove it and throw it away. If anyone else has any additional tips, please drop them in the comments because no tip is too much or too little. The more insight we share with one another, the more safe and aware we can be.